Guests and graduates, thank you for joining us today. As the procession begins, we introduce you to the individuals on stage this morning. Leading the procession is Chancellor Robert Jones, President Timothy Killeen, and commencement speaker and honorary degree recipient Jeannie Gang. Fellow honorary degree recipients include James D. Anderson, I-Min Lee, and Larry Smar. Joining us from the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, we welcome members Carolyn Blackwell and Wilbur Milhouse, Chair Don Edwards, and Board Secretary Jeff Stein. From the University of Illinois System, Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Paul Ellinger. From the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, Provost John Coleman. Vice Chancellor for Advancement Barry Benson. Vice Chancellor for Administration and Operations, Mike DiLorenzo. Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Sean Garrick. Vice Chancellor for Research and Innovation, Susan Martinez. Alumni Association President, David Bambry. Captain David Castile, United States Navy. Introducing our academic deans. Dean Rashid Bashir, College of Engineering. Dean Herman Bolero, College of Aces. Dean Jeff Brown, Geese College of Business. Dean Mark Cohen, Carl, Illinois College of Medicine. Dean Wojtek Hodgko-Zyko, Graduate College. Dean Peter Constable, College of Veterinary Medicine. Dean Ingrid Fulmer, School of Labor and Employment Relations. Dean Kevin Hamilton, College of Fine and Applied Arts. Dean Cheryl Hanley Maxwell, College of Applied Health Sciences. Dean Ben Lowe, School of Social Work. Dean Kristala Musa, College of Education. Dean Venitria Patton, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Associate Dean for Academic Affairs Catherine Blake, School of Information Sciences. Dean Jamel Sharp, College of Law. Dean Claire Stewart, University of Illinois Library, and Dean Tracy Sulkin, College of Media. Please be seated. Welcome to the 153rd Commencement exercises at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Please rise as you are able and direct your attention to the center of the field. We invite you to join the Varsity Men's Glee Club, the Women's Glee Club, the Black Chorus, and the University of Illinois Commencement Band in our national anthem. Please be seated. As a land-grant institution, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign has a responsibility to acknowledge the historical context in which it exists. In order to remind ourselves and our community, we begin with this statement. We are currently on the lands of the Peoria, Kaskaskia, Piankashaw, Wea, Miami, Mascoutin, Odawa, Sauk, Meskwaki, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Chickasaw nations. It is necessary for us to acknowledge these native nations and for us to work with them as we move forward as an institution. Over the next 150 years, we will be a vibrant community, inclusive of all our differences, with Native peoples at the core of our efforts. Please extend a warm welcome to Robert Jones, 10th Chancellor of the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm sorry, you can do better than that. It's a beautiful spring morning, although it's very windy. It is the largest commencement crowd we've ever seen in these stands, and we are in the... Wait, I'm not done. We are in the presence of the largest number of graduates that we've ever had on this field in the history of this ceremony. And for several thousand of you sitting in the stands, we are giving you a Mother's Day gift that is going to be very, very, very difficult to ever top. This is commencement at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So let's try that again. Good morning. That is certainly more like it. I am Chancellor Robert Jones, and it is my singular privilege and honor and pleasure to welcome you to our 2024 commencement. Now, I know there are some people out there who will tell you that graduation ceremonies should be quiet and somber and very, very serious events. They will say that academic celebrations should be subdued, weighty, and reflective. Those people have never experienced commencement at Illinois, and if they had, I guarantee you, they will come away with an entirely different outlook. This is certainly the proudest day of our year, and you just have to look down the length of this field that is an absolute sea of orange and blue. Or look into the stadium stands that are packed with the very best kind of fans you can possibly have, your family and your friends. And just like everything at Illinois, we celebrate our most important day in the very biggest way possible. This is not a day to be quiet. It is a day when we all suddenly understand exactly why they invented the word exuberant. This is a day of joyous noise. So before I go any further, let's make some of that noise right now. Well, you guys were one step ahead of me, so you're going to have to do that again. So will you, all of you sitting in the stand, please stand up and join me in a round of applause for our guest of honor today, our graduates. Fantastic. Amazing. I can't tell you how happy I am to be on this stage. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to share this day with every single person in this stadium. The pandemic robbed us of this day for 2 consecutive years. And when we were able to come back for commencement in this stadium, we promised ourselves that we would never, never again take this day for granted. It is truly a gift. And it is a gift that is all the more special because so many of the people who made it possible for this university to come through the most difficult days of our history are sitting on this field in front of me and each and every one of you today. I know everyone is tired of talking about COVID-19, and I can assure you there's no one more tired of it than me. But I believe it would be an inexcusable disservice to these graduates if I fail to acknowledge the critically important role that I believe they played that will be viewed as the defining period in the history of the university as long as this history will continue to unfold. Your class will be among those at Illinois who will forever share a very common bond. because you navigated the most serious global crisis in living memory. You took countless COVID-19 tests. You showed your Illinois app to everyone on campus at least at some point during the pandemic. And you have doubtlessly come to hold a very strong opinion about the timeless question of straw or funnel. For those of you in the audience who don't know what I'm talking about, just ask one of our graduates. Every person on this field was impacted by that pandemic, but none were challenged more than those of you in our undergraduate class who began your journey here in the fall of 2020. You lost the end of your high school year. You began your college experience in circumstances no one could have ever imagined. And I suspect 4 years ago, many of you felt like we would never get to have events like this again. I know it wasn't easy, but you have gotten here. And you all have helped us to be a community who demonstrated to the world that when it matters the most, whether you're 6 feet apart or separated by an ocean, you are never alone. To those of you in the stands today watching your child, a family member, or friend graduate today, I just want you to know what a debt of gratitude this university owes them. They are heroic. These students at every level of study and in every program did everything we asked them to do to be able to come back and to stay together. They made the very hard choice over and over again to do whatever was required to take care of one another and to protect our entire community. These Illinois graduates refused to be defined by the pandemic. Instead, they have defined and distinguished their university through their selfless actions and decisions when the stakes really were a matter of life and death. During one of the most frightening and uncertain periods in most of our lives, these individuals sitting on this field today all came together and helped make this university one of the safest places in the world. So clearly, in so many ways, this is a day of celebration. But as we have been so sadly reminded these past few years, every high point in our lives also bring with it a memory of someone who we wish was still here with us to share in it. So I'll ask all of us to take just a moment of silence to remember a friend, a family member, or loved ones who may have been lost, but who are carried with us today in our hearts and in our thoughts. Thank you. Now, to all of you in this 153rd graduating class, to the future leaders here in this nation and around the world, congratulations on your achievements. As new graduates, you are going to be receiving plenty of advice this weekend, and absolutely none of it will be coming from me this morning. My only purpose at this podium is to remind you of who you will become today and what that means to you and to the world. You are Illinois graduates, and Illinois graduates change the world. You know, it's really just that simple. We take enormous pride in being a university that provides the students who come to us with a limitless opportunity to pursue their what others tell them is impossible. And for 156 years and counting, Illinois graduates have been forcing us to redefine the meaning of that word with amazing regularity. Just think of the visible LED, the internet, YouTube, PayPal, Tesla, the list goes on and on and on and on. Illinois graduates remove barriers to the body and to the mind. This is the birthplace of the modern special education, is the university that showed our planet that physical limitations can never restrain the human spirit. Illinois graduates have never been satisfied with accepting the world as they found it, or with the phrase, "that's just the way it is." Whether in the form of grand ideas or the smallest detail, our graduates go out to change the world to be the way they know it should be. From the smartphones, which many of you are probably checking right now, to the way we feed the world itself, to the way we buy everything from books to TVs to cars, Illinois graduates have been responsible for reimagining the way every person on this planet lives and works. And now it's your turn. You completed the most difficult course of study. You've been challenged by some of the finest minds in the world. And you're about to be awarded a degree from one of the top universities on the planet. And you've done all of this during a global pandemic. You do not need any advice from me. Instead, I just ask you two final questions. And think of it as your last test here in Illinois. And relaxed, it's the one that you've been preparing for since the day that you accepted our offer of admission. Questions are, who are you today, and what are you going to do? I think you know the answer. I know you know the answer. Because as of today, you are Illinois graduates. And again, you are going to change the world. I ask you all to remember that as you move out from here into lives and into careers of adventures that will be coming next. You are the 2024 graduating class of the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and we know you are going to make us very proud. So congratulations to you all.
Please welcome Don Edwards, Chair of the University of Illinois Board of Trustees.
It's a little windy up here on this stage. How's it out there? All right, welcome everybody. On behalf of the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, I am honored to bring greetings and congratulations to the University of Illinois class of 2024. I'm an alum and, as some know, a former Illini athlete. And it's time to show some Illini pride. Are you ready? ILL. Louder. ILL. All right. Awesome. At this time, I'd like to recognize and thank trustees Wilbur Millhouse and Carolyn Blackwell, both proud Illini graduates, for being here on the platform. I promise to be brief, but graduates, I do have three important words for you. Enjoy this moment. Through hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, you've earned this. But you most certainly haven't done this alone. As you live out today, one of life's truly most important milestones, you are no doubt also living the dreams so many others have had for you. Be thankful to those family members, friends, and mentors who helped you get here. In fact, graduates, I'm going to ask you to do something right now. Look into the stands, find your parents, your family and friends that helped you get here, and join me in thanking them with a big round of applause. I myself am a proud alumnus of our incredible school here in Champaign, and as chairman of the board, I admit to being our biggest cheerleader. The University of Illinois has been our state's leading university for more than 150 years, but it is so much more than that. Illinois is one of the great research universities in the entire world, with a faculty and you, a student body, which represents the best the world has to offer. Throughout our history, U of I has been a beacon to the power of human potential. With our land-grant heritage as our foundation, we pioneer innovative research that tackles global problems and expands the human experience. As Chancellor Jones said, our alumni have founded multi-billion-dollar companies such as YouTube, PayPal, and Tesla. Our alumni and faculty have won numerous Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes, and you can find them in places from the Super Bowl to the space shuttle. These are Illini graduates, just like each and every one of you sitting here today. Now, in your case, perhaps you know what your next step will be, but perhaps you don't. Either way, life will throw you a lot of curves, and how you respond to those curves will help define you. The most important thing I can impart to you is no matter what path you take it with confidence. The confidence that comes from having obtained one of the great educations available in the entire world. You graduates are truly exceptional. You leave here today a top 1%er in the world in educational achievement. So if you hit a bump in the road, fall back on that education. Let me give you an analogy. When I was preparing for my first marathon, I was told by veterans that when you hit the fame wall at mile 20, the most important thing is to be able to have trust in your training, to tell yourself you put in the miles and you can handle this moment. Trust in your training gives you trust in yourself. In the very same way, you can leave Urbana-Champaign knowing you are incredibly well trained for the marathon of life because you put in the hours and the effort to get a University of Illinois education. And whether you are in the easy part of your marathon or the hard part, no matter what the world throws at you, the education and experiences you received here will always lift you up and serve you well. Today, you join one of the largest and most accomplished alumni communities in the world. Our Illinois alumni number almost 500,000 and lead by example with compassion and hard work. As you take your next steps, know that you carry a bond that will forever connect you to this place. No matter where you go, I know you will cherish your experiences here in Champaign, and I hope you will carry, as I do, a piece of the University of Illinois in your heart. May you share the powerful pride in our university, and may you spread our tradition of Illini excellence wherever your journey takes you. Finally, I am fortunate. As chair of our board, I am back on campus often. It is an incredible experience to come back to the place you earned your college degree. So I urge you to come back to campus often to share your achievements and insights and revel in the happy memories that you will feel in this place forever. Now it is time for you to go out to change the world and to bleed orange every step of the way. Today, you graduate from a university that for over 150 years has had a mission to contribute to the public good. You graduates, you are that public good. You represent the best of us. I speak for the governor, my fellow trustees, and the people of Illinois when I say we are so proud of you. Congratulations again to the incredible Illinois class of 2024.
Introducing Dr. Timothy Killeen, President of the University of Illinois System.
Good morning to you all, and let's go again. Congratulations to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign class of 2024. Okay, pretty good. You did a better job for the Chancellor, but we're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate you. Look up. There are no rafters to shake here. We're outside, only the firmament above. The very air is moving in celebration of you. We dialed in the Northern Lights to celebrate your graduation. You're so special, accomplished, supported, talented, and now amazingly equipped for what lies ahead of you. And I gathered that you might be loud too. So parents, supporters, you know what's asked of you. Let's let it rip. Congratulations, class of 2024. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you. You look so wonderful. Being part of these ceremonies is one of the real privileges of my job. And this will be, and there's no way to overstate this, a monumental day in your lives, oh graduates. Each of you has made a unique journey, many of you working while you pursued your degree, enduring late nights, early starts, not to mention navigating a pandemic, agonizing global conflicts, and polarizing social tensions, all to arrive here at this moment, at this day, your day of celebration. Hopefully you've made many deep friends, lifelong friends along the way too, with laughter, enjoying and experiencing triumphs and the kind of joy and humanity that comes only from supporting those around you when they need you the most. And they also have your back. So take in this moment. Look into the crowd, find your family and friends, take more photos and video than your smartphones can handle. This really is a day to be remembered, cherished, relived, and in years ahead. And I can speak from personal experience. Wear those smartphones out. In 40 years, you will not look the same as you do now. But I trust that all of you who leave here today leave with a sense of purpose, an inner compass, and a drive that points you towards engagement and gives you a belief in the collective responsibility that has been nurtured here at UIUC. And you know what I mean. We are all deeply connected, each of us with the ability to make a positive impact far beyond what we can physically reach. Jane Goodall has spent her life studying animals, but I think it's fair to say she's learned a thing or two about human society. What you do, she once wrote, makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. The career your degree will now help you launch, and its rewards are undeniably important. But if we together, your wonderful faculty, and us all in community have done our jobs, your degree is much more than a passport to economic opportunity. Only a tiny fraction of people reach the point where you are today. While the U of I system is working to open the doors wider and to more people, your education carries with it a duty and a responsibility. And I encourage you to take all that you know and will learn in the years ahead and use it to lead a strong civic life in community, to be a force for good in your families and your communities and beyond. Just think about the career of Jeannie Gang, your speaker, who you'll hear from shortly. Her undeniable professional success as an alum has helped shape better and truly inspiring urban environments. Architecture that emphasizes the vital links between people, communities, and the world they inhabit. There are any number of ways that you can follow that inspiring example. In a time of growing misinformation and deception in the public sphere, seek out the truth and be a truth teller yourself. Take the spirit, the essence, the life of this world-class public university with you into the world and take on all the challenges we face. We all have an obligation to be problem solvers. And with all that awaits you, and with your skills and determination, you are the greatest generation and the best gift that UIUC can offer the world. El mejor regalo que podemos ofrecer al mundo entero. So engage with everybody around you, including people you may not always agree with. Vote. Your choices carry real power, and maybe one day enter the political arena yourselves. We are fortunate to live in a democracy, but it needs tending and nurturing from all of us. And UIUC and the entire University of Illinois system, 97,000 students, needs you too. We need you. You're now joining a family of more than 500,000 alumni. We are immensely proud of all you've accomplished and cannot wait to see the many, many ways that you will achieve success in the world, your joys, your contributions, and the fundamental differences you will make. Last chance for me, the cosmos is listening. Congratulations, class of 2024.
President Killeen will now confer honorary degrees. Introducing Dean Kristalla Musa to Hood honorary degree recipient Dr. James Anderson. For more than 50 years, education professor James D. Anderson has been a scholar, historian, and cherished mentor at the University of Illinois. His 1988 book, The Education of Blacks in the South, 1860 to 1935, is the definitive history of African American education. Not only did he receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Association for Colleges of Teacher Education, the association also named its dissertation award for him in recognition of his commitment to guiding and mentoring graduate students.
James D. Anderson, in recognition of your commitment to students, scholarship, service, and to the University of Illinois, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of the Urbana-Champaign campus, it is an honor to present you to the President of the University for the honor degree of Doctor of Science in Letters.
Upon these recommendations, and by authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer upon you, James D. Anderson, the honorary degree of Doctor of Science and Letters, in token whereof we invest you with this hood and present you with this diploma.
Introducing Dean Kevin Hamilton and Chancellor Robert Jones to Hood honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker Jeannie Gang. Jeannie Gang is a leader in realizing sustainability and community engagement goals through architecture. While she works internationally, some of her notable projects in the Chicago area alone include the St. Regis Chicago and Aqua, two skyscrapers that redefine the city's skyline, as well as the new global terminal at O'Hare International Airport. She is known for marrying idealism to pragmatism, creating unique buildings adapted to both the humans who use them and the environment in which they reside.
Jeannie Gang, in recognition of the ways your work has changed the very shape of our cities and the field of architecture itself, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of the Urbana-Champaign campus, it is an honor to present you to Chancellor Jones for hooding and to the President of the University for the honorary degree of Doctorate of Fine Arts.
Upon these recommendations and by authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer upon Jeannie Gang the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, in token whereof we invest you with this hood and we present this diploma.
Introducing Dean Cheryl Hanley Maxwell to Hood Honorary Degree recipient I-Min Lee. Epidemiologist I-Min Lee is one of the world's leading authorities on physical activity and health. In a landmark 2012 paper, she demonstrated that physical inactivity underlies more than 5 million deaths each year. She famously told the world that inactivity is as deadly as smoking. Her research and writing provide evidence of the health benefits of physical activity to prevent cardiovascular disease and cancer. Her academic papers are among the most cited in her field, and her textbooks are used broadly around the world.
In recognition of your contributions to the body of knowledge around epidemiology of physical activity and your efforts to inform the world of the dangers of sedentary lifestyles, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of the Urbana-Champaign campus, it is an honor to present you to the President of the University for the honorary degree of Doctor of Science.
Upon these recommendations and by authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer upon I-Min Lee the honorary degree of Doctor of Science, in token whereof we invest you with this hood and we present this diploma.
Introducing Dean Rashid Bashir to Hood Honorary Degree recipient Larry Smarr. Larry Smarr was a young professor of astronomy at Illinois when he sent a proposal to the National Science Foundation that led to the creation of 5 national supercomputing centers, including the National Center for Supercomputing Applications at Illinois. NCSA laid the foundation for today's Internet. It attracted brilliant students to Illinois and enabled the creation of Mosaic, the first web browser, later commercialized as Netscape Navigator. The national supercomputing centers he envisioned have enabled breakthroughs in telecommunications, physics, astronomy, health sciences, and many other fields.
Larry Smarr, in recognition of your contributions to the fields of computer science, telecommunications, physics, astronomy, and health sciences, and upon the recommendation of the Senate of the Urbana-Champaign campus, it is an honor and a privilege to present you to the President of the University for the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering.
Upon these recommendations and by authority of the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer on Larry Smarr the honorary degree of Doctor of Engineering, in token whereof we invest you with this hood and we present this diploma.
The combined chorus will now sing Fanfare for a Festival, followed by the state song, Illinois.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Our solos are twins. Ada Mola Omole and Adanyinka Omole, the class of 2024 graduates receiving bachelor's degrees in integrated biology. Thank you both. That was absolutely wonderful. Let's give them a round of applause. It is now my great pleasure to formally introduce your 2024 commencement speaker. There are probably only a handful of people on the planet who can walk around to some of the greatest cities of the world and point to the skyline and say, I made that one, I made that one, and I made that one. Jeannie Gang is one of those who can honestly make that claim. But I want to emphasize that she would also be the very least person who would ever do that. Instead, this architect pioneer and 1986 Illinois graduate has spent her career letting her work speak for itself. As the founding principal and partner of Studio Gang Architects, Jeannie hasn't just redrawn skylines, she has regularly redefined what an entire field believes to be possible in design and structure. And along the way, she has opened up an entire discipline to new levels of opportunity and participation for a generation of women who are following in her footsteps. From the iconic St. Regis and Aqua Tower buildings in Chicago, to Baltimore's National Aquarium, to a stunning new vision for O'Hare's Global Terminal and Concourse, Jeannie Gang clearly sees the world in the way most of us cannot. Fortunately, she has also had an unparalleled gift for sharing that vision with the rest of us in the most spectacular and breathtaking manner. So please join me in welcoming your 2024 commencement speaker, Jeannie Gang. Jeannie, welcome.
Wow, good morning, and thank you so much for that warm welcome. Thank you, Chancellor Jones, President Killeen, and the Board of Trustees for inviting me here today. Let me also congratulate my fellow honorary degree recipients and their families. It's just so great to be back here, my dear alma mater, Illinois, and it's truly an honor to be asked to address you here today. We all know there is a lot going on in the world right now, but we can still come together and take this time to recognize your big accomplishments. In fact, we need to come together because it is so important to mark this milestone, and to do it in person, it's very special. It's a bright moment, it's a joyous day. I'm truly happy to be here to celebrate with you. So now, to the class of 2024, we know you gave it up with Chancellor Jones and President Killeen, but let's do the biggest round of applause yet for these graduates. Woo! Woo! Awesome. You know, I'm going to take this off. We talked about it a little bit, but I want to briefly look back at this mountain that you just climbed to get here. Let's go over it one more time. Undergraduates, you dealt with the worst of the pandemic in your very first year, and that was a scary experience as an introduction to higher ed. If you were freshmen in 2020, You weathered that social isolation in a time that's really meant for social connection. Nevertheless, you found ways to build relationships and grow your knowledge, and even in such an uncertain time. And after all, it wasn't just the pandemic, but the other world-changing events like international conflicts and fights for justice here at home, which called for you to give attention to things when you were also supposed to be focusing on book learning and taking exams. Climate change, anxiety, it's also been part of your experience, and the race to get global warming under control and transition our economies and find new solutions to steady the planet and to ensure our environment and our future. It's a lot. You lived and worked through all of that, class of 2024. You could have given up, and yet you're here, and now that's what I call resilience, and it's a major accomplishment, and it deserves another round of applause. Let's do it again. And you didn't do it alone. I think it's in order to thank the people who helped you, support you over these past years. Maybe they're here today. Congratulations, parents, family, and friends. These graduates wouldn't be here without your continued encouragement, financial help, and love. And of course, congratulations to the faculty and staff who offered their wisdom, teaching, and advice. They all inspired you, taught you, believed in you throughout this journey, and without these supporters, this would have been so much more difficult. So let's give them all a big round of applause. Thanks, everyone. Thinking about all that hard work, it reminds me of when I was on campus here, and I remember my favorite places to go study. My number one choice was the Illini Union. The big old soft chairs, high ceilings, natural light, but most important, snacks. Snacks available. My second favorite place was the law library, and when you really needed to get serious, they had these long tables, no windows, and no talking. And then, if you were not really studying hard, there was the undergrad library, where you would go to see your friends. It was less like going to a library and more akin to, say, going to CAMS, except without the bar. I know, no wonder they're closing down this library. Anyway, no matter where you chose to study, U of I is the place where you discovered that working hard at something is essential. You might have cruised through high school without much trouble, but here at U of I, you cannot do that. You can't cruise through without trying, without focus. No matter what your major is, you have to put in the hours. As you may know, my major here at U of I was architecture. Yay, FAA! Woo! And anyone who knows architecture majors knows that the lights at the architecture building are always on. Someone is always working on projects in studio 24/7. Architects are notorious for all-nighters, but there's a little secret about that, which I'll share in a minute. The truth is, not only the architecture majors, but every single one of you studied at libraries, spent late nights, driving those ideas into your brain. You wrote, you prepared, you calculated. You had to be dedicated, you had to be disciplined. And now you're about to leave U of I and this world of classrooms, labs, and libraries. So when you get out into the working world, the mantra, hard work is the key to success, you'll find that a lot of companies out there will endorse this idea. They'll endorse the idea that hard work is fundamental to making it to the top. And since working hard is something you already know how to do, you should be good, right? But I want to tell you a different story. That was not the whole truth. Yes, working hard is associated with this success, but putting in long hours alone doesn't necessarily mean you'll get somewhere or even manage to be effective at your job. People often struggle in their career not because of lack of hard work, but rather because hard work might not align with what they love to do. So my point here is that after you leave Illinois, you will need to find out or further define what you really love to do. And this is not an easy task, actually, and it will take more time to discover for some than for others. But make sure you leave enough time and space in your life to find out what piques your interest, whether it's in your chosen field or in another field. And don't listen to what other people have to tell you on this. Be analytical in judging where you do well, how you're most intellectually, artistically, or socially impactful, and find ways to convert those things you love doing and are good at into what you do for a living. And that, by the way, is the secret reason why the lights were always on in architecture. It's because most architecture majors love what they're doing. We're working in studio, creating projects, envisioning future cities. We're collaborating with each other, and it hardly seems like work at all. So that's my first point, really. It's success on your terms will be when you've transformed the feeling of working hard into the feeling of hardly working. Now I want to move to my second point, and once you're, doing what you love and it doesn't seem like work at all, it's time to start daydreaming. That's right, daydreaming. Parents, stay with me here. I offer you my second point today. I want to turn our attention to the importance of the imagination. We often hear about imagination exclusively with reference to children, fairy tales, fantasy worlds, as if everyone else, all of us adults, could get by without it. But on the contrary, imagination is essential for my job as an architect, as a creator, as a writer, as an urbanist, and ultimately as a human being who cares about others and cares about the world. It was Bell Hooks, the famous American scholar and activist, who said, "The function of art is to do more than tell it like it is. It's to imagine what's possible." Indeed, imagination is about seeing a possible future that doesn't yet exist. So why else is imagination so important? Without making a seminar on this topic, though I think it could be a pretty good one, the short answer is that the concept of imagination has evolved from the medieval practice of mimesis to the Age of Enlightenment, when it was seen as a threat to rational thinking. But in contemporary culture, imagination simply means the ability to form images and pictures of something that exists only in the mind's eye. It's about picturing something that is not actually there, deliberately and intentionally. Not as a hallucination. That's something else. Imagination isn't only for artists, it's for everyone. You can actually practice using your imagination and even harness it to creative and productive ends. It's about taking the time to visualize something you want to see in the world, whether it's social change, sustainable futures, or other new ways of living. And through this visualization, you've taken the first steps to actually making it happen. It was Albert Einstein who famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." So coming from a scientist, this statement might be surprising, but he was referring to how he was able to envision his theory of relativity even before it could be physically proved. His longer quote explains this more fully. "I'm enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." It's great, right? It's deep. In saying this, Einstein was encouraging people to look beyond the current frontiers of what we already know and are comfortable with, and into the realm of what we're compelled to explore next. Theory can lead to practice, vision can lead to change. And this is precisely how imagination becomes crucial for our current complex times, because we need bold new ideas that will help address our difficulties, like the issues you experienced outside the classroom over these last 4 years. We have to imagine the future we want before we can make that future a reality. In my work, I've called this actionable idealism. But it doesn't stop there. Imagination is what makes it possible to cultivate empathy and compassion as well. You need to imagine what it's like to be someone else, to feel what they feel, to walk in their shoes, in order to have a civil and thriving society. And I love Margaret Atwood, one of my favorite writers. She inverts this notion to describe what you get if you don't have imagination. I quote, "Oppression involves a failure of the imagination, the failure to imagine the full humanity of other human beings." As author of The Handmaid's Tale, we can see the terrifying trajectory of where that lack of imagination can lead, that lack of empathy. A number of weeks ago, in preparation for today, I reached out to speak with a few members of the class of 2024 from different backgrounds and different majors. I wanted to hear what was on your minds. Your classmates shared a variety of things with me, and there was a general, I guess the main thing was a general apprehension about work and the prospects of landing a job. Some students were even worried about whether the job they had prepared for at U of I would even exist in the future. And that makes sense. I get that. Things are changing so rapidly with technology and AI that I can believe that the jobs you will start out with are not the jobs you will end up with. In fact, you may have to reinvent your career multiple times during your working life. All the more reason to discover and love what you do. It will transcend the immediacy of a job. This great university has prepared you for that. It has. Woo! I love that. I also heard another worry from your classmates. It was one that really stuck with me. Some students worried about just being able to be who they are and be safe in their workplace or be safe in this country because of their gender and how they identify. Let me say this. Being safe to be who you truly are, or to love who you truly love, or to work at what you love doing, these are things that no one should have to worry about in 2024. That is really a form of oppression. It represents a failure of the imagination, a failure to empathize, and that is not who we are as graduates of the University of Illinois, and we won't stand for it going forward. So, dear class of 2024, it may be that when you are applying for jobs, you might find 0 job descriptions that say, seeking entry-level computer programmer with a vivid imagination. But in fact, out there in the real world, you might encounter some people uncomfortable with outside-the-box thinking, whose favorite word is no. In addition, in our time of major conflicts and challenges, it may seem like imagination is no match for the system and the problems that we seem trapped in, like there's no point in envisioning a different, better future. But I want to guarantee you that in life, you will need your imagination, and you have it. This is your human superpower, perhaps more than any other. Our collective future flourishing will come from you knowing what you love to do and boldly following that path, and from you using your imagination to face the present challenges and find the opportunities to envision and work toward a better world. My one assignment for you for today, after all the celebrations, is that you take a few moments to imagine that safe, peaceful, and joyful future you want to see. And in doing that, we will all be that much closer to having this future come true. Dream big. Congratulations, graduates. See you out there.
Thank you, Jeannie, for your very inspirational words and for joining us on this historic day in Memorial Stadium. So let's give her another round of applause. Graduates, before we confer your degrees, let's take a moment to honor the faculty who have joined us today to celebrate your academic accomplishments and to thank them for the knowledge and guidance that they provided to you. Let's give them a round of applause. We will now proceed with the conferring of degrees granted in course. Dean Wojtek Hotzlo-Zako will present the candidates for degrees from the Graduate College.
Will the doctoral candidates please rise as you are able? President Killeen, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates for the highest degree, the doctoral degree. These candidates are the scholars and leaders who will address the world's most critical issues through their dedication, innovation, and passion. They have come from many states and many countries to be part of our family. We are immensely proud of their contributions to our institution and of their success.
Distinguished recipients of the highest earned degree awarded by the University of Illinois, it gives me great pleasure, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, to hereby confer upon each of you the doctoral degree for which you have been recommended, and I admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Jamel Sharp from the College of Law will now present candidates. Dean Sharp.
Will candidates from the College of Law, among the very finest young legal minds in our nation, please rise as you are able to receive your degrees. Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, these candidates are presented for their respective degrees.
Thank you, Dean Sharp. Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the University's Board of Trustees, I do, with great pride, legal scholars, confer upon each of you the Master of Laws or Juris Doctor degree for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Dean Peter Constable from the College of Veterinary Medicine will now present candidates. Dean Constable.
Will candidates from the College of Veterinary Medicine please rise as you are able to receive their degrees? Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, the U.S. Veterinary College that receives the third highest number of applications for its Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree program presents these candidates for their respective degrees.
Thank you so much, Dean Constable. With acceptance of the recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, and by authority vested in me by the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Mark Cohen from the Carl Illinois College of Medicine will now present candidates. Dean Cohen.
Thank you, Chancellor Jones. Will the candidates from the Carl Illinois College of Medicine please rise as you are able to receive your degrees? Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, these candidates are presented for their Doctor of Medicine degrees.
Thank you, Dean Cohen. Medical pioneers, with acceptance of the recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, and by authority vested in me by the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Hotchko Zako will now present candidates for the master's degrees and advanced certificates.
Will the candidates for master's degrees and advanced certificates please rise as you are able to receive their degrees?
Bravo!
Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, I am proud to present these candidates who have attained advanced knowledge and specialization for their respective degrees.
Thank you, Dean Zaiko. Distinguished candidates, it is upon these recommendations and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, and with considerable pride and pleasure, that I do confer upon you, each of you, the master's degree or certificate for advanced study for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Provost Coleman will now present our university honors or bronze tablet graduates.
I am now pleased to present candidates who have received university honors. Will the recipients of university honors please rise as you are able to receive their degree? Mr. President, the graduates I am about to present to you and to this audience have achieved a singular recognition. University honors, known informally as Bronze Tablet honors, are limited to those undergraduate students who have demonstrated sustained academic excellence of a high order. To earn Bronze Tablet honors, a student must earn a grade point average of at least 3.5 out of 4 points, and the GPA must be in the top 3% of the college. In recent years, all of our Bronze Tablet students have earned GPAs over 3.7, and many have perfect 4.0 grade point averages. Because of their excellence in scholarship, these candidates' names will be inscribed on a bronze tablet displayed in the main library. It is a delight to present these outstanding students. Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty of their respective colleges, these candidates who have achieved university honors are presented for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Provost Coleman. and congratulations, distinguished scholars. It is upon these recommendations and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois that I do confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations all.
Please be seated.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degrees will now be presented in order of their college's institutional age. Dean Herman Bolero will present the baccalaureate candidates for the College of Agriculture, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences, established in 1868 as the College of Agriculture when this university first opened its doors.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the College of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences please rise as you are able to receive your degrees. Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, these candidates that are truly going to change the world are presented for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Bolero. I greet these candidates with great pleasure and pride. Careful of your hats. And I am pleased to receive these recommendations of the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor. By the authority vested in me by the University of Illinois Board of Trustees, I am pleased to confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Rashid Bashir will now present the baccalaureate candidates for the Granger College of Engineering, which also was established in 1868.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the Granger College of Engineering, the best college of engineering in the universe and the quantum realm, rise if you're able to and make some noise. Mr. President, these Granger engineers come from the College of the Transistor and the LED, the Mosaic and the Iliac, the YouTube, PayPal, Tesla, C3 AI, Bloom Energy, and Match.com. I am confident that they will continue to innovate to make the world a better place for all. Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, these candidates are presented to you for their baccalaureate degree.
Thank you, Dean Bashir, and for these new fellow engineers, strong in spirit, strong in intellect, and strong in number. It is with great pleasure that I do accept these recommendations from the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor, and I'm pleased to confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended. And with great pleasure, I admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Granger engineers, please be seated.
Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Catherine Blake, will now present the candidates for bachelor degrees from the School of Information Sciences, established in 1893.
Will the baccalaureate candidates from the School of Information Sciences please rise as you are able to receive your degrees? Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, these candidates from the best high school in the country are presented for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Blake. I'm proud to receive these recommendations from the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor, and it is by virtue of the authority granted me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois that I do confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations to all.
Please be seated.
Dean Cristela Musa will now present the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees from the College of Education, established in 1905.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the College of Education please rise as you're able to receive their degrees and use your teacher voice to make some noise. At the College of Education, we have a saying, great minds think education, because our graduates know that providing people with knowledge and nurturing diverse learners across their lifetime is a commitment and privilege with impact that is shared across generations. This kind of positive impact is the definition of greatness. Mr. President, these candidates are among the best students of this generation, great minds committed to shaping and inspiring countless learners across their lifetime through teaching, research, and community engagement. Upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, it is my great pleasure to present these candidates for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Musa. Distinguished candidates, guardians of tomorrow's generations yet unborn, it is with great pleasure that I receive these recommendations from the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor, and it is by virtue of the authority granted me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois that I confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations, each of you.
You may be seated.
Dean Ventura Patton will present the baccalaureate candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, established in 1913.
Representing more than 70 majors will the amazing baccalaureate candidates from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, the heart of this great university, please rise and make your presence known to receive your degrees. Mr. President, these candidates are the best and the brightest. They leave Illinois equipped to analyze and solve problems, work in diverse groups, and persevere in the face of challenges. They are prepared to change the world. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, it is my great pleasure to present these candidates for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Patton. For these graduates, strong in intellect, spirit, vibrancy, and number, I do hereby accept the recommendations of the faculty and the Chancellor, and by the authority vested in me by the University Board of Trustees, hereby confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Jeff Brown will now present the baccalaureate candidates from the Geese College of Business, established in 1915.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the most innovative business school in the multiverse, the Geese College of Business, please rise as you are able to receive your degrees. Mr. President, in one of my final formal acts as Dean, after more than 9 amazing years, I am proud to present to you, upon the recommendation of the Geese faculty and our Chancellor, these candidates for their baccalaureate degrees who will go on to change the world through purposeful leadership.
Thank you, Dean Brown. It is with great pride, O distinguished candidates, that I receive the recommendation from the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor. And it is by the authority vested in me by the University of Illinois Board of Trustees that I do confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations all.
Please be seated.
Dean Tracy Salkin will present the baccalaureate degree candidates from the College of Media, established in 1927. Dean Salkin.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the College of Media please rise as you are able to receive your degrees? Mr. President, I assure you that there is no media bias at play when I tell you that these innovative, collaborative, hardworking graduates are poised to make important contributions to their fields and to our world. Therefore, upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, I am very proud to present these candidates from the College of Media for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Salkin. And to these graduates, I greet you with great pride and pleasure, and do hereby accept the recommendations of your faculty and the Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Kelvin Hamilton will now present the baccalaureate candidates for the College of Fine and Applied Arts, established in 1931.
Will the baccalaureate candidates from the College of Fine and Applied Arts please rise? Mr. President, these people over here and also over here, these are the people who create, who push back against all kinds of hate to fill the world with planful love and caring places, making sure our worst parts leave no traces. They meet chaos with design, reading their hearts and yours to discover all that's fine about what humans do when left to dance and sing and build and learn, as we should every day, and not only when someone can't afford to pay. You're about to see a whole lot from this crew. New spaces, new beats, paintings, poems, walkable streets, stories recovered, thought long gone, set out for stage and page and song, shelter for those in need, music and art instruction guaranteed to make sure all people get an equal chance to get in on whatever dance keeps your community moving. These graduates will see to truth in all things aesthetic in our town, state, and nation, going far beyond mere appreciation to creation of things you never dreamed of, but which you stood exactly in need of. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and the Chancellor, I present to you a beautiful collection of humans who, when faced with the choice of their degree, looked into their arts and chose the College of Fine and Applied Arts.
Thank you, Dean Hamilton. Distinguished scholars who celebrate the human condition in incredibly important ways, it is with great pride and pleasure that I do receive these recommendations, incomplete, with the faculty, from the faculty, the Dean, and the Chancellor, and with pleasure confer upon each of you the baccalaureate degree for which you have been recommended, and I admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Benjamin Lowe will present the baccalaureate candidates from the School of Social Work, established in 1944. Dean Lowe.
Will baccalaureate candidates from the School of Social Work please rise as you're able to receive their degrees? Mr. President, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, this small but mighty force of change agents, these advocates for social justice, are presented for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Lowe. As to these graduates, thank you for your commitment, and I am pleased to accept the recommendations of your faculty and the Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Illinois, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, for which you have been recommended, and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Dean Cheryl Hanley Maxwell will present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Applied Health Sciences, established in 1957.
Will the candidates from the College of Applied Health Sciences, the health of the university, please rise or otherwise signify your presence to receive your degrees? Mr. President, these undergraduates came to us with a passion for improving the world, making people and communities healthier, happier, and more vital. They leave us prepared to do just that. As graduates, they will improve and maintain the health and well-being of individuals, families, and communities across the lifespan and throughout the world. They will work as physical education teachers, community and public health educators, and future health administrators, physical and occupational therapists, epidemiologists, and public health administrators. As managers of park districts, sports facilities and programs, tourist destinations, and maybe even a zoo, as speech and language pathologists and audiologists, and as research scientists in higher education, they will be the people that we will count on to keep us healthy and happy. It is not cliche to say that the AHS graduates will change the quality of our lives no matter what our ages are. It is with great pride that I say, upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Chancellor, I present these candidates for their baccalaureate degrees.
Thank you, Dean Hanley Maxwell. And thank you, distinguished candidates, for all you will do. I am pleased to accept the recommendations of the faculty and the Chancellor, and by the authority vested in me by the University's Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Science degree for which you have been recommended, and admit you hereby to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Captain David Castile, United States Navy, will now present our ROTC candidates.
Mr. President, first I think it's appropriate to recognize those who are currently serving and who have served our nation. I ask all members of our student body, faculty, administration, and members of the audience here today, if you are currently serving or have served in the past in uniform, please stand at this time and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. Cadets and midshipmen, please stand. Mr. President, it is my distinct honor and privilege to present the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Space Force Reserve Officers Training Corps candidates who will receive their commissions at 10:00 on Monday in Follinger Auditorium.
All audience members and your fellow classmates, will join me in extending sincere congratulations to each of you for your accomplishments to date and your dedication to service, not only to this university, but to our larger society. Congratulations.
Please be seated.
Let's give all of our graduates one more round of applause. And before we leave today, let's take a moment to say thank you. So will the family members of our graduates please stand so that we may recognize and applaud you for your support and your encouragement that you've given these graduates throughout their academic careers. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. I'll now invite the class of 2024 to rise if you are able. Please rise. And move your tassel to the left side of your caps as a symbol and gesture that you are now alumni of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. As Chancellor, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all to the Illinois alumni family. We're so pleased to present each of you with an alumni pin as you exit the stadium, and we hope you will wear it proudly. Will the remainder of the audience please rise and join our graduates in the singing of our alma mater, Hail to the Orange.
This concludes the 153rd commencement of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. We will end today's ceremony with the faculty recession. Please remain in your seats until the platform party and faculty have exited.